Hey, house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 26 updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Ken Wong. Ken, thank you so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so, so much. So thank you again. If you guys want to be house guests of the day like Ken, check out our Patreon link in the description below. And down there, you will also find a link for Paramount Plus if you're still looking to get the live feeds this season. We are an affiliate now, so if you use our link, it helps us out. So we appreciate that as well. All right, so we have some things to talk about. I know somebody was pissed off that I used the word "so" a lot the other day, but so. When we left off yesterday, we were witnessing the fallout from a wild POV ceremony / house meeting. So, just a reminder, Tucker used the power veto on Angela. Oh my God, not on himself, but on Angela. She is safe this week. Cedric put up Mackenzie, and Mackenzie used her upgrade power. So she is also safe this week. And America will be choosing her replacement nominee. So we have Tucker versus Kenny versus America's pick up on the block. We don't know who that is yet, but voting should open for that at the end of tonight's episode, I'm assuming, right? It's going to be a quick turnaround, probably tonight into like tomorrow morning, I would guess. As we talked about yesterday, Tucker tore into Cedric because he felt blindsided at the POV ceremony. He really thought that Cedric was going to put up Quinn, not Mackenzie. So Cedric was telling Tucker, I warned you before the ceremony to use the veto on yourself, not on Angela. And that is true. We can't roll back tapes. We can't roll back. There's no flashback this season. But yeah, he did tell Tucker, hey, you should use the veto on yourself, not on Angela, because I'm not doing it. The votes aren't there. Correct. Tucker is adamant that Cedric never said that. He said, you just told me that the votes aren't there, and I said, F it, I'm doing it anyway. But Tucker said the truth will prevail, mother effer. It sure will, and it's not going to be on your side. We also saw that Brooklyn called out Kenny on spreading that whole rumor that she's the head of a girls' alliance, and he's been talking a lot about taking a shot at Brooklyn to break that up. Get him, Brooklyn. Go, girl. Go, married mom. Married mother. He's claiming that his words were twisted. He's like, no, that was just like me posing the question, is there a girls' alliance? Because during Chelsea's HOH reign, Joseph went up to the HOH room one time and you asked him if he could give Chelsea a few minutes before he went in there, but then Mackenzie went up and she was allowed in. So I was wondering if there was a girls' alliance. He said a whole lot more than that, but okay. Other fallout from the POV drama that we saw yesterday. The Collective and the Pentagon were trying to re-solidify after some shady dealings, right? This is going to ruin the tour. What tour? The World Tour. The Collective and the Pentagon tour. So Cedric kept pushing to his allies. Look, I kept Quinn off the block. I did that for all of us, especially you, Quinn. And I put up Mackenzie because that's what you guys wanted. So we're so cool, right? We're good. He's also trying to make sure that Quinn will use his power in a way to benefit the group and not screw them over, right? They need to keep in mind, hey, Quinn does have this power, so we need to make sure he's still with us. Cam was trying to clean up his mess. There's definitely people doubting him at this point because he was like really back and forth about whether he knew about this whole plan with Tucker or not. He was looking shady as hell, but he was denying it. And then he was like, yeah, ball players alliance, but it wasn't real. So he's trying to fix things up. He's also trying to distance himself from Leah because that is causing issues. And, the Collective and the Pentagon are doubting him because they don't want him giving information to Leah, which he has already done. Quinn is pledging his loyalty to both the Collective and the Pentagon, apologizing for lying about whether or not he had the upgrade power. And he's now saying he's going to use it to help the group. So we'll see what happens there. Quinn's got a lot of people looking at him sideways now, though. Not even necessarily because he lied about having the power, because a lot of people were like, no, I get why you didn't want to do it, especially after the way that Lisa was treated when people thought she had a power and she didn't even. But all of his little alliances were exposed, right? Leah's been telling people Quinn had a final two with me. He lied to me, blah, blah, blah. Kimo, T-Core, they've got something close with Quinn. He's working with Joseph. He's working with Tucker. He's got something with everybody, right? So that's all coming out now, and it's not a good look for Quinn. But T-Core was also having doubts about Kimo. She's really hurt that he knew about Quinn's power and he didn't tell her, right? They're supposed to be like this. So that's another issue that we're keeping an eye on. But there wasn't a ton going on yesterday. We do have a few things to discuss, but yesterday was more of a regrouping / recharging day after all the chaos. So Brooklyn and Cedric have a chat in the backyard, and they're like, we got to keep the Pentagon and the collective strong. Boring. I don't want to see these alliances just steamroll through the game because that's super boring. But they're hoping that Kimo and T-Core will stick with the group, right? Because there's always this paranoia that those two are going to ditch these groups, or they're going to ditch the collective. They're not in the Pentagon, but they're going to ditch the collective and go work with Rubina instead. And that is not something that Cedric and Brooklyn want to see happen, right? They want those numbers locked in. So Brooklyn says, you know what? T-Core and Kimo, they're not going to have the numbers on the other side. So they'll probably just stick with us, right? We shouldn't be too worried about this. She's also saying, I don't think we need to target Rubina yet. She is one of the few people who's outside of that alliance. Because keep in mind, the collective has like 8 people. That's a lot of people. And Brooklyn's saying Rubina's just going to vote with the majority anyway, so she's pretty harmless to us at this point. And if we keep her around, we will keep Kimo and T-Core happy for now. So, like, we don't need to be targeting her at this point. She does feel, however, that they should target Mackenzie next. Oh, dip, because she is one of the better competitors outside of their alliance. So she's thinking, Mackenzie might need to go soon. We'll see what happens. Cedric is saying he would like to see Tucker leave this week, which isn't really a surprise. It's not a surprise after the way things have gone this week between Tucker and Cedric. The way that Tucker was going after him, saying that he's a liar, and, you blindsided me at the POV ceremony. And I mean, straight up, Tucker's been telling Cedric, you're my number one target now. I'm going to beat you in all the competitions and take you out. So I don't think Cedric's feeling great about Tucker at this point. And he also feels like once Tucker leaves, that other side of the house is going to fall apart. So he's talking about like Tucker, Mackenzie, Angela, Rubina, but like, are they even a side? It's not like they're a unified front. They're just people outside of the alliance, the big alliance. But Brooklyn and Cedric both feel really good knowing that Quinn has the power to control next week's HOH, because even if somebody outside of their alliance wins, Quinn can just take over and do whatever they want, right? Brooklyn is still wanting to win this next HOH because she wants to get pictures of her kids. She said they're starting school this week so early. So she would like to see those pics, but she doesn't care if her HOH gets taken over by Quinn because, they're all assuming that Quinn is just going to do what the collective wants anyway because he's on thin ice right now. Yeah. I mean, ideally, they don't want, say, like Kenny, Angela, Mackenzie, or Tucker if he's still here. Like, they don't want any of them to win HOH because then they can't go up on the block, right? Quinn can take over that HOH, but he can't put up whoever won. So they're hoping none of their potential targets will win. All right. In other news, Kimo was very emotional yesterday. He had multiple bouts of crying, probably because he got caught in that whole secret power drama, right? He had some people upset with him, especially T-Core. And he was one of 2 people that Quinn told about his power, and he spilled about it to Tucker after Angela did the same, right? He was the second one to tell Tucker. But he did not tell T-Core about it. If he was going to tell anyone, it should have been T-Core. That was a big F up on Kimo's part, and T-Core was really upset with him about it. So Kimo is feeling really insecure here, and he was asking Tucker, do you trust me? And Tucker's like, yeah, do you trust me? And Kimo's like, yeah, you're one of the people that I trust the most in here. Is that a good idea? Tucker, we've seen, has blow up tendencies, so maybe not the person that you want to share all your info with. But Kimo gets a very long, comforting hug from Tucker. Kimo's crying, and Tucker brings up how they're going to be tearing it up in West Hollywood after this is all over. He said, we're going to tear that ass up metaphorically and physically. And Kimo was like, I mean, okay. That's a lot. Anyway, Quinn was talking to the cameras again yesterday, and Quinn says, I want to make a final two with Brooklyn, right? We both know that we're at the bottom of the Pentagon Alliance. I need to take advantage of that and set something up with her. It would be stupid of me not to. He does acknowledge how messy his gameplay has been, how he's got deals with pretty much everybody. And he says, that's hilarious. I'm here to have a good time, to have fun, and to lie. So why not set up another final two? He also says, I'm not just like some lost, scared puppy. Even if I look like that, I'm not. He says, I'm a turbulent leopard seal, dude. A turbulent leopard seal. Okay. That's an interesting one. He says, just because I was exposed for, having the secret power, it doesn't mean I'm out. He says, me not telling the house about my power, yeah, that was a huge blunder. I should have told the collective, I should have told the Pentagon, and I should have told Leah. No! You should have told no one. Your mistake was telling anyone. No one. You tell no one when you have a secret power. If you were watching this and you were planning on being on a future season, you get a secret power, tell no one. But yeah, Quinn says, I didn't think I would get outed, so I thought I could just let this whole thing die. Maybe he wasn't actually going to use the power and he was just planning on it going away. I don't know. But yeah, he says, hopefully I handled it well enough, with all the cleanup. And he's like, I also shouldn't have yelled at Angela in the kitchen, but she was really getting on his nerves. I hope we're going to get to see some of that on the show because we did not really get to see much on the feeds. We saw 2 seconds of that argument with Angela and Quinn from the other day. Apparently, he also called out Kenny, and he's like, yeah, I called him out because I didn't want him to just weasel out of all this drama when I know he was involved, right? Because Kenny was part of that short-lived ball players alliance with Cedric, Cam, and Tucker. And they came up with that whole plan to potentially get Quinn up on the block. So I believe Quinn was also calling Kenny out for approaching him earlier in the day. Remember, he was asking Quinn if he wanted to be in an alliance with Tucker and Cedric. And apparently Kenny was just trying to test Quinn and see if he would be I already have something with Tucker. So yeah, Quinn was questioning him about that and calling him out. And Kenny was like, well, you calling me out was outside of character for you. He said that to Quinn apparently. And Quinn's like, out of character for me. He says, I am the biggest slime dog in here. I'm playing a dirty game because that's what I came here to do. I mean, he said that in his preseason interviews too. So I'd love to see it. Let's see some more dirt. I mean, he's been a rat already, but I want to see some true dirty gameplay here. But he says that's what's fun about this game, right? It gives you permission to lie when in life society says lying isn't cool. I mean, he's right. If you're gonna, this is your chance. This is your chance to play a dirty game. This isn't real life. Okay, so Quinn says Kenny hasn't even seen a fraction of his stuff, of his gameplay. He says he's waiting for his opportunity to really go wild, meaning a double eviction. We'll see if he's still in the house to do that. I don't know. He could be going up on the block via America. I feel like Quinn is going to be featured heavily in tonight's episode, and I feel like it's either going to be probably Quinn or Kimo going up on the block this week, but we'll see what happens with that. It really is going to come down to the edit, but I think that Quinn and Kimo are going to be like the top potential nominees here, just going off of the edit. He also mentions he's hoping that he can reestablish some trust with Kimo and T-Core, because he really did want to go deep into this game with them. He was being genuine about wanting to work with them, so we'll see if he can fix that. And Quinn was also talking about his plan moving forward. He really wants to win this next HOH to use it as an opportunity to test Leah. He's not sure where he stands with Leah at this point. It's not good. I can tell you, she's not happy with you. But yeah, he wants to ask Leah, is Mackenzie coming after me? Do I need to worry about her? And if Leah says no, then Quinn will know he can't trust her in this game. And it's going to show him that Leah is closer to Mackenzie than she is to him. I mean, yeah. Do you really need to test her? I think, yeah, you're going to find out. Anyway, later, Quinn discusses his plan for next week with Chelsea and Cedric. Chelsea was asking, so are you going to use your power or what? Because, like, this thing's going to expire soon. So he says he does plan on using his power. And he says his ideal scenario would be for someone from the collective to win HOH, right? One of his allies. And then he would use the power anyway, just to take the heat off of them. He would take control of the week. And he says his nominees would be whoever's left between Kenny and Tucker, and then Angela and Mackenzie. Like some mix of those four. How boring. You're just going to keep putting up the same people that have been up already. See, this is why you don't tell people about secret powers, because if nobody knew that he had this power, he could do something crazy. But now he's probably not going to want to risk it, which is really boring. Yeah. Also, I don't know, maybe he's just saying that and he would change it up and just go rogue. I don't know, but that's what he's saying right now. So the feeds were down for a bit last night. I think at one point it was like an hour and a half. I don't know if that was related to the earthquake in California at all, or if it was just like talking about people that didn't sign waivers. Who knows? I don't know. But it was a pretty chill night. The house guests were talking about, at one point, they were talking about who they missed the most from home. And it gets to Mackenzie. And she's like, I guess I would probably say my brother. And then she starts saying how her brother is her soulmate. He's my main man. And she says, I hate that I have to marry another man because my brother is like my number one man. I'm sure she didn't mean like she wants to be with her brother romantically in the biblical sense, but it sounded really weird. Like it was giving me Folgers coffee commercial vibes. You're my gift this year. It sounded so off. So, bleh. But yeah, I'm surprised none of the other house guests were like, what? It just sounded weird. Obviously, she didn't mean that, but like, all right. So anyway, another highlight from last night. At one point, Quinn was talking to Kimo and T-Core, and he slipped up and he dropped the name The Pentagon in front of them. Now, he had already told them who's in that alliance, how it formed, whatnot, but he hadn't dropped the name to them before. So now he's a little bit panicked, like, oh my God, what if they even say this word by accident and then people are on high alert? I don't know, but he tells them delete it from your memories. Hell no. If somebody dropped an alliance name to me like that, you got to hold on to that. But yeah, that was last night. Nothing really happening so far today. I mean, we've got a freaking eviction tomorrow. Is there going to be any campaigning? I guess Kenny can't continue his campaign to leave because Big Brother warned him the other day that if he talks about wanting to leave, they're just going to pull him from the game and not pay him first time. So I don't know, but I guess also the problem is they don't know who this third nominee is going to be on the block. And then somebody is still going to be coming off the block with the AI competition. So no campaigning really that I've seen yet from either Kenny or Tucker or anybody on their behalf, whatever. But we do have some more info on next week's special episode. There is an extra episode next week on Tuesday, August 13th. Is this really necessary? Okay, so apparently they're going to have Taylor Hale, yay! Cody Calafiore, and Jag Baines. They're all going to enter the AI arena. This is from their press release or whatever. They're going to enter the AI arena, and they are going to analyze the wildest blowups, biggest moves, and most jaw-dropping moments so far this season. It's only week 3. Why are we doing this right now? I don't know. But they're also going to be revealing BBAI's next game-changing surprise. And they say it's bound to shake things up. Surprise? What's that all about? I don't know what that is, but hopefully it's going to be something good, because these first 2 twists, not super interesting when everybody knows about them. The first 2 powers or whatever. What do you think? What do you think it's going to be? Let me know in the comments or in the chat what you think the surprise is going to be. Do you think it's going to be more upgrade powers? Do you think it's going to be just something simple, like getting rid of the 3rd nominee thing and they'll just go back to 2? Is it something new? I don't know. Yeah, Cody and Jag. Like, at least we're getting Taylor, right? But like Cody and Jag. Do we need Jag's opinion? He wasn't exactly like one of the best winners ever, but okay. Yeah, so that's where we're at. I can't wait to find out too who this 3rd nominee is going to be. I feel like the house guests are going crazy too, trying to figure out which one of them it will be. But we'll see. So I want to thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank our super chatter today, Mary Ellen L. Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it. And we'll be back tonight to talk about tonight's episode. So we hope you join us for that. Thanks for watching, everybody. And until later, much love. Bye. Bye, everybody.